All right. Let me share my screen now. Share screen. Go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. Choose screen. Share. Let me get a yes in the chat if you can see my screen. Let me get a yes in the chat. Let me get a yes in the chat. Where is my chat go? Oh, it's down there. Okay, it's down there. Chat. All right. Look at me. I forgot the question I just asked. Okay, if you can see my screen. Okay. All right, guys, let's get to it. I know, guys, for some of you who are experts, you know me. You know I like to carry everyone along. And you know the reason why I repeat things sometimes is just so that it sticks, okay? Now, before we get further to what we really need to do today, I know many of us perhaps have already terminated what we did last time, okay? So we got to build them again, okay? But it should take us less than 30 minutes, right? So let's try to do this. Let's see if we can do all of that in 30 minutes and then add the main sauce for today, right? Which is load balancing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You get more practice with creating an RDS, with following commands and getting things done. Because one thing I like to tell people is about with IT, right? If you're in information technology, cloud engineering, infrastructure engineering, DevOps, and all that, it's all about being able to follow procedures. It's all about being able to follow guides, documentation. I think that's the best word, right? It's all about being able to follow documentations, right? So if you're good at that, you can look at an instruction for a program for a software you're trying to use, see how to set it up, see how to integrate with this and that, just follow the instructions, and you see that, before you know it, you're done, right? So as long as you're, I don't want to say, just take things easy, right? You don't rush, you follow carefully what the documentation says. If you don't know something, or if you're lost in somewhere, what should you do? Someone tell me in the chat real quick. I want to make these sessions more interactive from now on, okay? Someone tell me, what should you do? You're looking at the documentation. I always say, okay, Google it is one thing. What is another website that is so popular? There you go, Antoine. Stack Overflow, Google. Find a YouTube video that with someone already having done that before as well. Okay, so let's quickly get in now. Let's create our RDS. Okay, let's create our RDS database. I'm gonna go into RDS now. Okay, so again, I'm gonna move a little faster because we've done this like twice now. Okay, we're just trying to set up that environment again to get to where we need to be. Okay, host our Node.js application, Node MySQL, right? All right, guys, on the left, databases. Let's move fast. On the left, databases. Let's create database on the top right there. Okay, create database. All right, we're gonna choose standard create MySQL, right? We already know how we do all of that. Leave this as MySQL. Free tier is what we want to choose on the templates. What else? Let's give our database a name. Let's call it Node MySQL. Node MySQL DB. Okay, that's what I'm gonna name mine. The username and password that I always say, you gotta remember. You gotta remember this. Okay, don't forget this. We're using admin, and we're gonna use and then we're gonna use a password that we want. Okay, we're gonna use a password that we want. Okay. Don't forget these two things, username and password. Moving on, guys. One maximum storage 1000. We don't need to enable storage auto scaling and uncheck that. What else? Default VPC, yes. Publicly accessible, yes. And you know why we're doing this. You guys already know why we're doing that. Okay, what else, guys? VPC security group. We always remove our default, right? And put the one that we already have in our account, right? So let's remove the default. Let's remove the default. Don't worry, guys. If you're new to the channel, it's okay. Okay, just follow what we're doing today. Once you catch up with the previous videos, you'll be good. Trust me, everything here will start making sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose. Which one are we gonna choose, guys? Please, I need you guys to be very fast with your fingers on typing. What are we gonna choose here quickly, guys? Which one are we choosing? Which security group? Come on, guys. You can do this. In the chat, real quick. In the chat. Very good. DB security group. Okay, and then click outside the box, and then now you have it selected. Very good, guys. All right, availability zone. Let's go 1A. Okay, 1A. Additional configuration. Was there anything we changed here? Yes. What do we add here? Our developer said the database is at cloud 337. Okay. All right. And then what else? Don't forget to add that cloud 337. What else, guys? Enable automatic back. We don't really need that, but don't worry about it. We're going to terminate at the end anyways. 7 days, no preference. Copy tags, that's fine. Check error log, general log, slow query log. Okay. Enable my, that's fine. No preference this, that's fine. What else? Enable deletion protection, no. Go ahead and click on create database. Okay, all right, my database is creating. Let me right click on AWS on the top left. Open. I need a new tab. Okay, I'm gonna open a new tab. And then I'm gonna go to EC2. Right, let's go ahead and launch our instance. Before I do that, let me open another tab. AWS. Open another tab. AWS. Where is it? Open link in new tab. There you go. I'm just opening another tab. I'm gonna go to S3 now, where we store our code as a company, right? We're storing our code in S3. Again, GitHub is very popular. A lot of people use GitHub as well to store their code. But just to keep things simple, for those of you that are not very familiar with GitHub, S3 is very popular too. A lot of people also store their code in S3. But if you start to look into, going more into DevOps, DevSecOps, then, you want to use something that like GitHub or Code Commit. We might get to do some those topics in the near future. But S3 for now. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys still have this bucket in there. Give me a 5 in the chat. I still have my Node MySQL MKMK. Oh, no. I mean, perhaps you don't have it as my own name, right? You have it as something that you know. All right, give me a 5. You still have it in there. You don't need to upload again from the... Okay, very good. All right. Any more people having it in there? Only Antoine and Astu. Is Hiba here? Is who else can I remember? Who else is here? Sylvia. I forgot one of our experts' name here. Okay, only 2 people. I missed last class. That's fine. We had this bucket before last class. Okay, so we're gonna continue, guys. We're gonna move on. Okay, no worries. We're gonna move on. So I do have mine in here. So if I'm copying my code, it's gonna be able to copy it from this bucket right here. Okay, all right, instances. Let's go ahead and click on instances running. Just going back here to the my instances page. Click on instances running. Let's go ahead and launch an instance. Launch instance. All right, Amazon Linux 2. Yep. Go ahead and click on select. Okay. T2 micro is what we want. Configure instance details. Before I move forward, guys, come on. Why didn't someone remind me? Now remember, I gave this as an assignment last time. Right? I said, you guys should try to figure out how to put the application behind a load balancer. Give me a number 3 or unmute real quick, just 2 minutes. I want to see if someone was able to do this. Anyone here on the call, unmute.
I tried, but it did not work. I have a problem with the load balancer.
Okay, who is this? What's your name?
Astu.
Okay, Astu. Hi. Okay. Nice try. That's good. Anybody else apart from Astu, great job. Let's see. Did anyone else try? Come on, guys. You gotta help me out here. I need you guys to, try to, put in all that effort. Just try it out. Look what Astu did. It's okay. She didn't get it to work, but that's fine. She tried. Who else? Hey, I know I can start calling names. I know some popular names here. Oh, someone got Antoine. You got 502 Bad Gateway. Unmute and tell me something. Tell me something, Antoine. Unmute real quick. I want to hear you. Hey, Antoine. Can Antoine hear? Okay, I guess Antoine is I don't know, audio issues, mic problem. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on because I don't want us to spend too much time there. But great try, guys. Nice try. Okay, that's what I like to see. That it shows that you're involved. You really want to learn, and trust me, all of this will work out to you, getting a good job. Okay, and remember, as you're doing all of these labs, write something about it on LinkedIn. Today I was able to put a load balancer, a node application behind the load balancer. That's something you should put on your social media today. And when I say social media, I mean LinkedIn. Okay, do that. All of these labs, for those of you that are new, that are following, every lab you do, write a short post on LinkedIn. Recruiters are watching. Okay, recruiters are watching. Okay, also find recruiters, search for recruiters for various companies, for the jobs that you're applying for, and try to connect with them. Okay, connect with them, introduce yourself. That way when they accept, many of them, they usually accept. Okay, when they see your background, they see your profile, you have something about AWS cloud, SQL, and all that, they will accept, if it's a line that they're looking for people for. All right, moving on, we have one number of instances there. One, we're going to use our default VPC subnet. We're going to choose, let's go ahead and choose 1A. Okay. S3 and SSM. Don't forget your IAM role so we can session manager into this instance. Okay. Shutdown behavior, terminate. We've done this over and over again. I know you guys like, this is so easy. Can we just move faster? All right. Okay, S3 and SSM. What else, guys? Okay, that's all. Next, let's add storage. Let's add storage. 8 gig is fine for hard disk. Hard disk, remember how we explained that in the beginning. Add tags. Let's call this name Node MySQL server. Node MySQL server. How about that? All right, now let's go ahead and click on configure security group. Okay, configure security group. Select an existing security group, yes, and we want to choose our what? Web server security group. Okay, web server security group. Okay, again, don't worry, I know my IP is showing, but again, I'm behind the VPN, so this IP is gonna go away once I go up, turn off my VPN, turn it back on. Okay, so I'm allowing all traffic for my, just making sure that you guys have kind of similar thing, and you still have this open as well from last 2 classes that we've been dealing with Node.js. Have this open to the world, open all traffic to your computer, that you trust your own IP and all that. Okay, review and launch. Okay, review and launch. Go ahead and click on launch. Okay, choose a key pair that you know that you have, and then click on launch instances. Okay, click on launch instances. All right, you can click on view instance on the bottom right here, or you can click on it right here. Okay, to take us to our instance. It's loading. All right, it's loading. I can refresh here to see where it's at. It's still pending. That's fine. What else can we do now? Now let me split my screen. So you guys, I want you guys to open your I updated the code today on the drive, on Google Drive. Okay, so the code is updated to what I will be seeing on my screen today. Okay, so don't worry about that. I already took care of that before the call today. So I'm gonna go to the left here and then put this on the right. So here is the code we need to run to get our application up and running. Okay, you guys remember this from last 2 classes. Okay, so I just added a few things here to also cover the load balancer part for today. Okay, to cover the load balancer part for today. All right.
Question.
Yeah.
I mean to interrupt.
No
You're not gonna change the IP address on S3?
The IP address on S3
for the code.
Oh, for the code, we'll do it inside. Let's get in. Yeah, let's go inside Session Manager. I feel like that's that kind of might takes too much time to go back and do and upload it. Let's just go inside the app. That way you get some more experience with Linux as well. touching files and editing files and all that. But in reality, yeah, you might want to do that first and then upload the code again with your updated IP and database endpoint, right? So, but good catch, good catch. I just wanted to do it inside the code, inside the server itself once we upload it. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
cool. You're welcome. All right. Where are we, guys? Where are we? Okay, running. It is running. It is running. All right, let's see if we can connect to it. Let's see if we can connect to it. So I'm gonna select the server that is now running. I'm gonna go ahead and connect here. Here's my connect button. So I'm gonna connect. Session manager, connect. Okay. We're almost in, guys. We are almost in. And we are in. All right. Now let's start following our command here. Sudo yum update -y. Control C that. Control paste it here. Enter. It says no packages. Okay, that's good. Install our Nginx. Paste. Enter. Okay. All right. What else? Next line here. Third line. Control C that. Control paste. Enter. Okay. Now you can install Nginx. Okay. And then the next one here. Control C. Paste. Enter. Okay. Pause, guys. I'm gonna clear. Okay, I just want to take this thing back up because I know if some people are watching the video, it might be hard for them. I don't know if the timer shows in the video. I don't think it shows, but just to make things clear, I'm gonna go back to this session manager page and I'm just gonna type clear for now. Okay, just to give me a clean screen for continuing to work. Okay, I'm gonna type clear and click enter. Okay, now I have a clean screen to continue working on. Okay, now we already ran the last one. I'm gonna copy this, Control C this. I'm gonna paste sudo yum -y install nginx, enter. Okay, so let that run. It's running, doing its thing. Complete. Okay, let's go ahead and clear the screen. Clear screen again to give us a. Now the next one says let's check if our Nginx is running. Nginx-v. Let's copy that. Let's paste. Enter. Okay, so we have Nginx running. The next thing we want to do here is sudo su. Let's elevate our privileges. I know a lot of people are against sudo su, but again, this is a test environment, and we just needed to make things easier for us so that every command we run, just runs as an admin. It has the right to run or execute whatever we're trying to execute. All right, so let's go ahead and paste the next one. It says to cd. These short commands, I might just start typing instead of copying and pasting just to make things. So, but I'm going to paste this one now. It says we should cd to our root directory. And then ls. So let's just type ls. Okay, ls was the next one. Ls, enter. And then let's make a directory. We can copy that. It's a little long. Make directory. You guys know what making directory is like, creating a folder in Windows. Okay, so we're creating a folder called test app, to where we're gonna take all the code that our developers develop and put in there. Okay, I don't know why I'm repeating these things. I know I've said this before. You guys understand what all of these procedures are, but it's okay to repeat. So let's make that directory now. Press enter. So that directory is created. So now cd means let's switch to that directory. Let's go inside of that directory. So paste. Okay, now we're inside the directory we created. And then now please make sure, guys, don't forget, this has to be the name of the bucket that you have the code in. Okay, it has to be the name of the S3 bucket that you have your code in. So this is the bucket where I have the code in. All right, still the same from last classes, from previous classes. Control C this, paste. Okay, it's gonna copy the code from our S3 and put it in this server. Okay, inside of this folder. Okay, I've said before, this dot here means the current folder that we're in. meaning inside of this test app folder. Okay, actually, how about we test first? Let me remove that code first. Let's do ls. Is there anything in this test app folder? Let's do ls. There's nothing. Okay, now let's copy our code again. Copy. Now let's paste again. Now let's enter. Okay, now let's do ls again and see, is there anything now in this test folder, test app folder? Enter. Yes, all of our files have been copied into it. Great job, guys. So we just did this ls. All right, now let's install the things we need to get Node to work. Okay, sudo curl is our next command. Let me copy that. Oh, Astu, you got a bad gateway. Oh no. We'll try to see if we can help you troubleshoot that later. Yeah. Okay. All right. So our next code is this. Let's go ahead and click on enter. Okay. Now the next code is this. Remember, these are the things we need to get Node installed and working. So paste that. Also that next code right there. Enter. Okay. And then let's click on this. Control C. Paste. Npm install node. Enter. Okay, we're at the bottom now. I'm gonna have to do clear at some point, but let's wait. Okay, so that's good. Creating default. Now we're back. Okay, let's go ahead and click on clear here. Enter. Okay, now let's check. This command will tell us if Node has been installed and working, and it's gonna work fine. Okay, running. All right, good. All right, now I don't know why I did ls again, but let's do ls again. Okay, that's fine. ls again, to say the contents of the folder, test app. Now we want to cd into Node.js. Okay, look at what I'm doing on the right, guys. I'm copying. That's the code that's where I'm at now. Cd Node.js. So there's a folder in this test app that we can see here, Node.js. So we want to go inside of that folder. Remember, session manager. With session manager, other tools have different colors. We can see folders as blue, at least from my end here, right? I hope you can. So if it's a folder, it's going to be blue. If it's a file like an image or a file, then it's going to be just white. All right, paste that command. Let's go into our Node.js folder right there. Enter. Now we're inside. Now we're told to do ls, as you can see here. Okay, so let's do ls. Okay, it does have those files, and then the next command is that to install some dependencies we need to get our app to work. Okay, I'm going to click on enter. And guys, don't worry. These sessions are to build you guys confidence in taking up that cloud engineer job. So excited to say that I have a project for you guys after today's class. I'm going to give you a link to another Node MySQL code publicly available out there, and you guys are gonna run that. Try to figure it out. Okay. You're gonna next week I want to see you guys show me. Okay, I set it up, and here's the app. Okay, let me just quickly, let me just quickly show you guys here before I forget. So this is the app. I'm gonna send you guys this link. Let me put it in the chat now, but I'll put it at the end of the session again. Just mentioning this before I forget, because I know sometimes I want to tell you guys something and I forget. Okay, build a simple app using Node.js, and so this is a pretty cool app. I like it. Looks a little nicer than what we're currently using. So you guys are gonna try to put this app on a server. Okay, and next class, at least I want 5 people at least. I do want all of you to do this, attempt this, but at least let at least 5 people show me that they tried at least. Okay, please do it, guys. All right, moving on back to my session manager. Let me ask in the chat real quick. Who's gonna try to do that? Give me a number 3. You're gonna attempt to take that new Node.js app and put it online. I like that. Mustafa, Antoine, Astu. Come on, guys. There are 19 or 20 people on this call. You gotta make an attempt. Adekunle, thank you. Who else? One more person. Come on, guys. M Khan, but I have to catch up to you. Okay, that's good. All right, moving on. Victor, good. All right, guys. So what command did we run last? Okay. So we ran this one. We ran this one just now. Okay, very good. All right, we ran this one. Yep, that's what we ran. Now the next one says, while still in the Node.js folder, now make sure to allow security group. I think we all should. We already took care of our security groups, since last 2 classes, and we never touched the security groups, right? Because they don't charge us for just setting up those security group rules, okay? So let's just leave that as that. From anywhere, yes. And now do node server.js. Now I want to pause here because last class we talked about using Pm2, okay? We're not gonna run the app now because if we do this, we're running the app, okay? And remember we said here leave it running. So guys, for those watching the video later on as well, for those watching it, not watching the live session, we're gonna skip this code right here. We're not running the app yet. We're gonna use Pm2, and you guys already know from last class why we're gonna use Pm2, right? Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the next one. Okay, we're gonna move on to here now. In the new session manager tab, in the new session manager tab, go back to the test app folder and do the following. So we don't really need to open a new session manager tab. Okay, we're going to try to do everything in this one single tab now. Okay, but if you're following the video from before, then I would recommend you do all of this. Okay, you do this one so you see how we run it without using Pm2. Okay, because now we're now, for at least for those that are following up until last week, we don't want to do this now moving forward, right? We're going to use Pm2. Okay, and so now we can cd back to home directory or root directory. Am I saying it correctly, guys? Our Linux experts, am I saying that correctly? Our root directory or our home directory? Quickly in the chat, where are my Linux experts? cd this, is it our root or our home? Or whichever one is fine. Come on, guys. Root. Okay, good.
Root. Yeah.
Very good. All right, thanks. All right, sure, let's go into our root. Enter. All right, let's do ls to make sure that we're in where we want. Our test app is right in there. Yes, I can see it right there. It's right in there. Okay, good. All right, so what else here? Sudo su. We're already sudo su. We don't need to sudo su again. Ls, it's fine. We already know where we're in. Next is cd test app. Okay. No, we're already in test. Okay, yeah, cd test app. So we want to go into our test app folder. Now I want to go into this folder. So let's paste the code here. Paste cd test app. You don't have to have that / there, guys. Okay, you can remove the / there. Okay, enter. Okay, now we're in. It tells us here do ls again. Okay, let's do ls again. Let's enter. What else? Okay, and then we need to do this rm-rf. Okay, remove that package-lock.json. If you don't do this, it may not work. Okay, so when you get a new Node.js code from online, from anywhere, and it has this package-lock.json file, I recommend you remove this file, okay, and recreate it. Okay, and of course this code will help you recreate it and all that. Okay, so go ahead and paste that. Paste, enter. So as you do that project, guys, the assignment that I'm giving you, as you do that, just try to keep this code in mind. This rm-rf package, removing this package-lock.json. Think about that for your troubleshooting, okay, as you work on that project. Okay, now ls, let's do ls. Okay, we've removed this package-log.json file that was originally there. As you can see, it was there before, and now it's no longer here. All right. What else? Now npm install. Control C that, npm install. Let's go ahead and paste npm install in there. Enter. Okay, npm install is running. All right. Okay, someone said it's home because you're already in the root user. So, right, you're already the root user is home, right? Home, I guess we can say, yep, it is our home folder, right? But I believe I've heard people call it the root folder as well. But yeah, whichever one, guys, as long as you guys can follow. But yes, home, if it's not root, call it home, call it root, as long as you get the idea. Okay. But nice call, Adekunle. Waiting. Unless someone has an argument to say, no, it's not called root folder, it's called home folder. Home of root. Okay, good. I like Victor. Okay, good. It's the home of the root user. Okay, 8 vulnerabilities, and I talked about this last time. If I run this command to fix all of that, it might take us too long. Okay, so let's just move on here, guys. Npm install. We've ran this. Let's do ls again to see if that package -lock folder file is back. ls. Yes, it is back. Okay, and this is brand new. Okay, built for this app that we want to run. Okay, so that's good, guys. So and now, guys, don't do this. Don't do this. I know some of you might be ahead of me. Don't do this. We're using Pm2, so Pm2 can keep it running for us. Okay, remember that. Okay, so we're gonna use Pm2. Okay, so npm start. We're not gonna run this command. Okay, just like we did not run node server.js, we're not gonna run npm start. Okay. So to see the app, we said to go here. Okay, we're not gonna do that now. We're gonna test at some point. And again, this is my IP from a server that I already terminated from last class, or from previous class. Okay, now let's add some tables to our database. Okay, let's go in. Let's set up our MySQL Workbench now so that we can also test our database and make sure that's working as well. So I'm gonna open MySQL Workbench, guys. I'm gonna open MySQL Workbench. So let me go ahead and open MySQL Workbench. Okay, I'm gonna open MySQL Workbench. Let me go and grab the link to my RDS. So my RDS tab, my RDS should be complete by now, right? Let me click on it. Click on database we created for this application. Okay, yes, it is complete. So I'm gonna grab the endpoint. I'm gonna grab the endpoint and then go back to MySQL Workbench, create a connection. Let's call it node app. You can give it any name. So connection name can be anything. Okay, remove this. Okay, because the MySQL is not on our machine. It's handled by AWS. Okay, so paste that code here. You guys already know all of that. And then our username was admin. And then our password, we're gonna click on store in vault and then put the password that you created. Okay, make sure I'm typing the right thing. Test connection. Whoa, is my password wrong? Failed to connect. No, I don't want to troubleshoot. Please. Something's wrong with my password. Did I use a small letter there? There you go. Yep, small. Yeah. Okay. I guess it is. It's case sensitive. Okay, so a lowercase is probably what I used when I was setting that up. Okay, guys, I'm gonna click on OK. Okay, where are we? All right, now let's open it. Let's open it. Double click on it to open it. Double click on it to open it. Okay. Now let's run. Where's my? Let me move this to the right now as well. Push this to the side. I don't need that much space there. Where is it? So we want to run all of these commands. We want to run all of these commands to create the table student that the app needs to write to. Okay, paste. All right, and then we're selecting all. Of course, there'll be nothing in there because we didn't put anything from the application, right? No customer has gone in to fill the form yet or anything like that. Okay, or student in this case. All right, so let's run. Remember to run everything. We're going to use this one. If you want to run only a single line, use this one only. Okay, so let's run everything in this case. Okay, run everything. All right, done. Name, no name, rule number, no rule number. Okay, now we need to start our application. Let's go to Pm2 and then use Pm2 to start the application, to get the application up and running so we can interact with it. Okay. where's the screen? Let me minimize this, okay, and go back to session manager. Okay, all right, let me clear my screen so we have a clean screen to work with. Type in clear, enter. Okay, all right, what else now? You notice that if we control C, we didn't have to do all of it because we didn't run the app yet, right? Remember, we skipped this so we don't run the app the way we normally did before we learned about PM2. And we also did not do this, npm start, okay, to start the other one as well, the app.js. We didn't do any of those because we want to go ahead and use PM2. So let's start from here now. No longer be running, so we need a tool called PM2. If you watch previous sessions, all of this will make sense, guys. Okay, for those that are new and just joining us, make sure you're in the test app folder. Are we in the test app folder? Yes, we're in the test app folder. Make sure you're in the test app folder. Yes, we are in the test app folder. Then do the following. Okay, so do the following. So here's what we need to do next, guys. Okay, npm install, control C that, paste. Okay, enter. Okay. All right. Next, I like to do ls before I cd to something, just so I know what we're doing. So let's do ls to see. Okay, this is the content of the test app folder. All right. Cd to Node.js. Let me add the ls here. Okay, I like to see things before I go inside of them. Okay, now we're inside of Node.js, right? Now we can see that we're inside and the files are in there. Okay, now let's do this next command right here, Pm2 start. Okay, paste, enter. Okay. Am I in the wrong folder? Oh yeah. I did not cd, guys. I'm in the test app, but I did not. Did someone catch that? Yeah. Okay, good catch. I did not run this. I was like, what is going on? Okay, I did not run this. Yep. Okay, Amani, thanks. Who else was that? Adekunle, thank you. All right, paste. Let's paste that. Let's cd now into our Node.js. Okay, we skipped that, guys. I skipped that. All right, let me enter. Okay, good. Now I can tell that I'm inside of my Node.js right here. Okay, I'm inside my Node.js folder. Okay, and then we can run this, and then let's do ls. Okay, let's do ls. Okay, very good. And then now let's run this. Pm2 start. Control C that. Okay. Paste. Start server.js. Okay, very good. And then now we want to go back to our cd folder by using the command cd ... to go back to our test app folder. Enter. Okay, now we're back in our test app folder. Okay, now we want to start the other one, the app.js. So pm2 start, control C that. Now, since we're in the test app folder, let me do an ls. App.js is not in here. App.js, I think I may have, I may need to add a step here, and that is to cd into src where the app.js is, right, guys? But let's see. This should not work, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me add here. Once you go back to your test app folder, cd to src. Okay, cd to src. So now let's ls again. This is what's in our test app folder. Now let's cd to src. Okay, we're inside of src now. Let's do ls. Okay, now app.js is in here. Okay, very good. Now don't worry, I'll upload this code again, so if you're watching the video later on, you see the updated list. Okay, so now let's paste. Okay, that code now. Okay, now we can see it works now, right? App.js is online, but our server.js errored. That's not good. Server.js pm2 start server.js. Oh boy, What is going on today? Let me go back. Let me go back to my test app folder. Okay, see the test app folder, ls. Okay. My server.js is in there. cd to Node.js again. Okay. ls. Our server.js is in here. Okay, let's run this command again. Oh, okay. I don't have to go back and do that again, but hopefully you guys are not too confused there, okay? Just make sure you're in the right folders before you run those commands, okay? Make sure whichever command you're running, you're in the folder that has it, okay? So I had to make sure I'm inside the Node.js folder that has this, and then also the app.js folder that I make sure that I'm inside of the what? The src folder, okay? The src folder. All right, now let's do Pm2 list. At least to get our app running, we know that app.js should be running and server.js should be running, okay? So let's paste, let's paste Pm2 list. What is going on? My server.js is erroring out. Ah, come on, guys. Who can tell me what's going on here? And remember, these are some of the best part of this hands-on sessions, live hands-on sessions, right? Now, I want someone to unmute and tell me. This way I can tell you guys, because I can already think of what's happening now and why it's not working. Someone talk to me, unmute and tell me why something is not working right here. I didn't actually have to go back to Node.js and run that app again, and because now we have two instances. But tell me,
Hello,
on
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam, very good. All right,
Brother Mukhtar,
who is
are you
this?
in the
What's your
wrong
name?
Folder?
Huh?
Are you in the wrong folder?
I'm not in the
Into
wrong
Pm2
folder.
list command?
No, I'm not in the wrong folder. I'm not. Good try though. Who's this? Is this Mohammed?
I'm Khan, yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. Who else? Nice try, Mohammed. Who else? Amani, Astu. You guys should. Good morning. Who's this?
Adekunle.
Adekunle. Okay, let's hear you, Adekunle. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, you're running the server twice. So the first time it was running, then the second time it switched off.
Okay, still close. Close, but I don't think that's the problem. I don't think that's the problem here. Who else can tell me? But nice try, nice try. Come on, guys. We have about 15 minutes left. Astu, are you still here? I know you have
I'm
an
running
idea.
behind.
Oh.
I made mistake too.
Okay, that's fine. All right, anybody else? I forgot. Who else is here that I know that's always very active? How many people are watching this right now? How many people? 18 people. Come on, 18 people. Who else? One more. Give us a hint. No, not yet. Okay, I'm gonna count down to 10. Come on, guys, please just think real quick. Think about last class. Think about something we needed to do before we start running those servers. I may have given away the hint. Think about something we needed to do before we start running against that server.js, that app.js.
You need to stop, then start again.
Nice try. What? No.
Remove the package lock.
Remove the package lock? No. No. I know someone knows this. Once I say, you guys like, oh, why did we not think about that? Okay, 5. 5 seconds. 5.
The IP address need to change.
The IP address of what? Of what?
Of the instance.
Of the instance. What does my code have now, guys? It doesn't have my current instance, and it doesn't have my new RDS, guys. I was using the code from before. Remember, we didn't change it before we uploaded it to S3. We just kept it there. And I asked a question about this earlier, and I said we're gonna change it inside the code. Okay, so we haven't changed it inside the code, guys. We have not. So we needed to change make those changes within the code before we start running it, because now it's looking at servers that don't exist anymore. Your EC2 instance from last class, if you're using the same code, it doesn't recognize that anymore because that server is gone. The RDS from last class, that's the one you still have in your code. So it's not gonna work because it's not something that's live and functioning and working. Troubleshooting tip, guys. So let's go ahead now and do that. Okay, so let me go back to my let me clear the screen. Oh, I love that this happened. Okay, all right, so
Brother
clear.
Mukhtar, I have a question.
Okay, real quick, go ahead.
For this web's RDS that you're creating, isn't it a new database that you're creating?
It
So
is.
How are you? I don't understand when you're saying that it's using the old database.
The code that we uploaded is a code from last class. Okay. And the code inside of the code, if you follow the last 3 classes or 2 classes where we started about Node.js, the code inside of the code that our developers gave us, right? It has an old URL for the database. It has the one that we used last class, not the one that we created for today. The one that we used last class, all of you might have deleted it. I deleted mine. The EC2 instance from last class, the IP address of that EC2 instance that we need to use in this code is also gone from last class when you terminated the instance. So you need to give this code all of these new things that it can, that it's going to use.
Set up this RDS, you didn't put in the IP address?
We did not change it yet.
That wasn't in any of the steps?
No, it wasn't any of the steps.
Okay, makes sense now. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, great question. Now let me CD to my test app. Now in my test app, the first thing we want to do is let's go inside let's do ls. Let's go into, where's our server.js? Our server.js is inside of our node.js. So let's CD to node.js, node.js folder. Let's CD into our node.js folder. Okay, CD into node.js folder. Click on enter. Okay, do an ls. Okay, do an ls. And then this is our server.js. So now let us edit that. Nano server.js. Okay, nano server.js. Okay, I'm gonna move my screen to the other side because I think my password for my database is in here. Okay, you guys just make sure after you do nano server.js, enter, and then change. Let me show you in an example folder right here. Where is this it? Source code examples, Node MySQL, simple Node MySQL app. Okay, so we're going inside of our Node.js now, right? And we have our server.js. So if I open this server.js, hopefully it doesn't open on this screen right here. Don't do this to me, okay? Open on my other screen. Open on my other screen. Open on my other screen. Okay, yes, good. Okay. All right, my password is in there. I just want to be careful with that. My password is in there. And you guys know what we need to change in that folder, right? You guys know what we need to change. Okay, so I actually have a code here that I never put anything in. Remember, now the host IP is gonna go in there. Okay, just as an example, let me show you guys here. Okay, I'm not gonna put my password here. Okay, now if I do nano.js here, it'll open this file up for me to edit. Okay, the file will look like this. I need to make sure my host is my RDS. Okay, my host right here is my RDS. I put that in there. Okay, your username, you put your username. I know mine was admin, right? Password, you put your password. Database is cloud337. Okay, guys, please take note of this before we move forward. For those of you that are still following, okay, are still able to follow. All right, so make sure you do all of this. Okay, we need to put these new things in here. You guys might see this in your code. That's from previous class. Okay, remember we created a new database today, and then you put your username and your password. Okay, I'm gonna close this now. Okay, I don't need that, and then I'm gonna move this over just for now. Okay, just to make sure. All right, I'm gonna click on enter. Okay. The thing is, when you open it with inside of Session Manager and you use something like Nano, you have to use your mouse to move around. So let me bring it back. Let me edit my password out first and then bring it back. Okay, I'm bringing it back so that we're all on the same page. All right, guys. So now, as you can see, this is from before. I need to remove this and put the new one. Okay, I need to remove this. I need to remove this. You guys can see what I'm doing. I need to remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. There you go. Now copy the new one for today, the new database that we created. Okay, copy the new database that we created and then paste it. I can just right click and paste. Okay, it's in there. Username is the same, and then password, I'm gonna put my current password. You can't use the mouse to scroll. You have to use your up, down arrow, left key. Okay, so I can come here now, remove this password, and then put the password that I created today, and then this one should be the same. The database is cloud 337. Remember, as we're creating the database, we did put that in there. Okay, cloud 337, and then change the password. Okay, and then you do Control X, right, and then yes, and then Y, and then enter. Okay, so let me go now and put my password. Let me go now and put my password. Okay. Okay, now that is done, let me bring it back. All right, now the next thing we want to do is, let's go back to our test app folder. I can do cd ... enter. I'm back in my test app folder. What else? The app this folder right here, guys, the one in src, we need to give this the new. Let's open it and see. If you just look at it from our computer directly, you see that we need to change this IP right here. We need to change this right here. This had the IP from our previous instance from before, so we need to change this to the IP of the EC2 instance that we currently set up, that we set up earlier today. Okay, otherwise it's pointing to the old one that doesn't exist. All right, let me close that. So now we're in test app folder, right? Do ls and then cd to src, cd to src, enter, do ls, and then now we can see here in C we have the app.js. So now we're going to do nano app.js, nano app.js, enter, and then we want to go down. We're going to scroll down. We're going to scroll down and find that. It's right there, right here, right here. Remove localhost, remove localhost, remove localhost, remove localhost, remove localhost. Go grab the IP of my I'm going to go back to EC2 here. Go grab the IP of my EC2. Instance is running, instance is running. Where's the IP? Where's the IP? Here's the IP. I'm gonna copy this, copy this, copy this, and then paste it, and then paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it here, paste it here, and then Control X, Y, enter. All right, all right. Okay, so now let's go back to our test app folder. Oh, I just typed inside of my note here. Let's go back to our test app folder. Now we're inside of our test app folder. Now let's come back and run this command again. Wait, let's see what's running in Pm2 for now. Pm2-list, enter, app.js, server. Let's stop one app.js, or let's delete all. Let's Pm2, delete all to start again. Okay. Paste, Pm2, delete all, enter. Okay, now let's do Pm2 list again. Pm2 list. Okay, nothing is running. Good. Now let's try again. Let's try again, guys. Let's try again. Let me see. Do I have something in my chat? Did someone chat me something? Where's my chat? What if you use Elastic IP? Yeah, you can use Yasmin. Yeah, you can use Elastic IP so that when you restart, I see what you mean by that. You can use an Elastic IP, but we can talk about that at the end. Let me get to the end, and then I know we're gonna go a little over 12 o'clock as we always do. But again, it's fun learning. It's fun troubleshooting. If you have to run, that's fine. You get the recording. But if you can wait and see how this finishes, then we should probably in the next 15 minutes we should be done. Okay. All right. So where were we? Here, let's do this. Let's go from here. Pm2 start. We want to start both the server.js and the app.js. Okay, so let's paste pm2 start server.js, script not found in test app folder server.js. Okay, again guys, I'm not in the right folder. Let me go to the right folder. Okay, I'm in test app, not in node.js. Server.js, I hope this starts to make more sense as I've repeated this a couple of times. Okay, server.js is inside of node.js, so I shouldn't have skipped this. Okay, so I need to go now. Yes, I'm in test app folder. Let's do ls. Now let's cd to node.js that contains that server.js, and then run this again. pm2 start. Okay, paste, enter. Okay, it's online, very good. Now let's go back to test app folder. I can just do cd ... enter. Now I'm in test app. Now which folder contains this app.js? Which folder contains this app.js? That's this src folder. Okay, that's why I said here. Let's do ls again to make sure that we can see. Yes, src is in here. Now let's cd to src. Okay, now let's do an ls. Okay, now we're inside of src. Now we can run this now. Okay, now we can run this. Now we can run this. Paste. Okay, enter. Okay guys, now we have both up. Let's do pm2 list to make sure that nothing is terminating by itself. Very good. Now let's move a little faster guys, so we finish within 10-15 minutes. Okay, now let's test the app. Let's test, is it working? All right, for that I'm going to use an incognito window in another browser completely, because I don't want my cache or cookies to mess with anything. Okay, so I'm going to right click on this and open a new, I'm going to use Mozilla. Okay, now what do I need to paste in to test the app? I need to get my EC2 instance IP. Okay, and then go to this and then paste and then put a colon 3000. Right, this is how we test the app. Right, now that we're done, right, as the lead, as the cloud engineer on this project, now we're telling our team that, hey, we've uploaded the app, we've put it on a server, it's running now, go check it out to make sure we've done our part. Okay, at least so far. Okay, so now let's do that test. I'm in. The app is working. Developers are happy, managers happy, they tell you great job. Okay, now let's see if it actually works. Let's put a name. Mukhtar is the name, and then the role, enter roll number 54321. It could be any number, guys. So let's submit. Okay, form received. Excellent. I can just click the back button to take me back to the form. But let's go look at the database now. Is it actually in there? So let's run only this line. Remember to run only a single line, which is select all from student here, from the student table. Our database guys want to go check. Okay, if everything's working well, then we should start seeing data in the table. Okay, so our database administrators or database engineers or whoever is handling the database aspect of things, they're going to go check now. They're going to do a select all on students, and they're going to run it and see, is there a student in there? Yay, congratulations, worked. Right, now customers are using the form. We're getting their data. Customers are using the form and we're getting their data. Great job, guys. Now, the assignment last week was to what? Was to put this on behind a load balancer. Now, here's how you should do that. And trust me, this wasn't easy for me as well. I had to do many Stack Overflow, look on different Medium articles and see which one is gonna work for me, because a lot of people are using different things and the settings are not the same. And then you have to, change some things within yours as well to get it to work. But all that work is done for you guys. You just learn from it and try to apply that in your own personal projects or jobs as you see fit. So let me minimize this. Let me minimize the database as well. Okay, now let's move on. If creating a load balancer for this, for health check use, and one of the reasons why we're doing this as well is so that our customers can just go to our address, right, and they'll be able to hit our application. We don't want them to be typing the IP address and then putting colon 3000. Okay, every browser, once you paste an IP there, it uses port 80, HTTPS, port 80 to go to that address. Okay, but now we are saying port 3000, and this is not something you want to do in a real life environment, right? You want to map that to port 80 so they can just put the address of your website and without having to type colon 3000. Okay, so Nginx can help with that. we can use Nginx as a reverse proxy for that. So Nginx will take that request on 80 and then we'll forward it to what? To 3000 that your app really needs. Your Node app really needs to work, okay? Your Node app does need that 3000 to work, but now we're going to put Nginx in front so the Nginx can collect from 80 and pass to 3000, okay? All right. Who's with me so far? Just type the number. You don't have to be following the lab so far. I just want to make sure that you have an idea so far what we're doing, okay? You're going to have the video later on to catch back up with, okay? Give me number 5. Then I mean port 80. Adequately, I'll come to that later, okay? But let's give number 5. Okay, good. I have some 5s. Come on, guys. 18 people. Just 2 people. Some things may... Okay, good. Now, let's go ahead. Let's try to finish, guys. So, now we want to go to an Nginx folder right here. Remember, we already installed Nginx in the beginning, okay? So now we're going to go into this folder, copy this, copy. Okay, we're going to go to our terminal right here. We're going to... Let me clear the screen so we have a nice screen to work with. Let's paste. Okay, now we're going into the configuration of Nginx to do that reverse proxy magic that we want to do. Okay, so copy that code right there. Okay, copy that code right there and hit enter. It takes us into the configuration of Nginx. What we want to do is go down to this server block right here. You see this server block right here? Everything from here, we're going to replace with what I now have here. Okay, we're going to replace with what but before we do that, let's change this IP of our instance. Okay, let's change the IP of our instance. Go back to your instance, grab your IP of your instance so the Nginx knows which server to forward this to. Okay, and then paste it there. Paste it there. So this is the IP of our current server that's running our application. Okay, and then it'll forward it on the back end to port 3000. Okay, all right, it'll listen on 80 and then put it on this port. All right, now let's copy this code. Now that we've added our current instance IP, copy this code right here, and replace this. Now in order to this terminal right here, you can't just copy everything and click on backspace. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you can just highlight this first part right here, put your cursor on the first part, and then start typing Control K to delete each line. You see that? See that, guys? Control K. That way you can delete multiple lines faster. If someone has another idea that works best, that's fine as well. Okay, you can use that as well. Now let's go ahead and right click and paste. Now that we removed all of that, let's paste our new code. Okay, now we can click on Control X to save that. Click yes, and then click enter. Okay, fingers crossed now, guys. Fingers crossed. Now, if we just grab the IP or the DNS, if we just grab the IP or the DNS, if we just grab this IP or the where's my DNS here, or this public DNS right here, if we grab this, remember this is an example of here's the website our customers or end users need to go to use our app. Okay, you can either use the public IP and then or use this. Now, guys, if that worked correctly, we don't need to type port 3000. Okay, for Nginx, we don't need to type port 3000. We don't need to put .3000. Okay, now let's Control C that. Okay, now let me go back to this. Instead of doing this now, our customers can just put the link to our instance and just run that. Okay, 404 not found. Okay, quickly in the chat, what am I doing wrong? Quickly in the chat, what am I missing? I know one of you knows this, or all of you know this. I missed something. What didn't I do? What do I need to do that I didn't do yet? No, I'm not gonna put. Remember, your browsers know to put port 80. If you've set up everything correctly, you don't have to put .3000. If you have Nginx as a reverse proxy, it knows to go through port 80. What did I miss? I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm going 10 seconds. 10. 9. You can unmute and tell me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
It's a local host. It should be an IP address there, local host.
No. 5. The port should be 3000. We're trying to go away from adding port 3000 in our browser before we go to our app. The proxy. What do you mean by the proxy? The proxy. 3, 2, 1. I did not start Nginx. I didn't start Nginx yet. Okay, guys. So we need to start. I actually have the command here somewhere. Okay. In this case, I'm doing a restart, which is fine. Okay. Do this. Okay. Just like we did, if you remember when we were doing Apache, we needed to start Apache and do HTTP config and then keep it running after it restarts and things like that. Okay. So let us go now and paste. Enter. Okay. And then to keep it running, if the server restarts for any reason, we do that. Control C. Paste. Enter. Okay. Now let's see if Nginx is running now. Okay. Control C this. Command right here. Paste. Fingers crossed. I'm praying to see active, a green active text. If I don't, it's still not working. All right, now let's go test again, guys. Let's go test again. Let's grab the IP or the DNS. I like using the DNS from now on instead of using the IP because this is more realistic to what an address should look like, right? But of course, we know how to customize this to our website.com if you've been following from the previous weeks. All right, so now let me go back to Mozilla. Let me go back. New private window. Yes, Route 53, Mohammed. Yep. Okay, guys, fingers crossed. Come on, I don't want to troubleshoot anymore. Worked. Okay, we haven't finished yet. Now it works, okay? Now it works. As you can see, I didn't have to type port 3000. You guys are saying, can you add some data in there so we actually know that it works for us? Let's do that. That's fine. All right, let's put someone's name. Let's put S2's name. S2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Submit. Okay, form received. That means it worked. Let's go check our database. Our database guys are waiting. Okay, you said it works, right? Let's see. Does it work? Is she in there? Yes. Someone else has entered into the form and it works. Okay, that works, guys. No longer need to put port 3000 here. Okay, good. But we haven't put this behind the load balancer. So let's be fast with this. Otherwise, I would leave you guys to do this. But because I give you as an assignment, some of you guys did not get it working correctly. But that's one part of the project. Okay, make sure we're not using that port 3000 again, and browsers can just go to the address and it works. Okay, now let's put it behind the load balancer. That's fairly very easy. Okay, let's go to AWS. Go to EC2. Go to EC2. Okay, go to EC2, and then go to load balancers. Okay, go to load balancers. Okay, go to load balancers, create load balancer. Let me maximize this. Create load balancer. Let's call this node LB. Okay, node LB. HTTP is what we're using for now. We're not using HTTPS for now. I'm going to talk to you guys about that later on. Okay, yes, HTTPS is secure, but with our load balancer in front, it's going to be easy for us to implement SSL on that. And you guys know where I'm heading with that if you've been following so far. Okay, in all availability zones, yes, this load balancer should be able to work in all availability. Yep. Configure security group. That would be our load balancer security group. Okay, load balancer security group. Next, configure routing. Target group, you guys know where we have to do this. Node TG to specify the instance that we want to put behind this load balancer. Okay, what else is an instance? Yes. The path. Now this would work. If you didn't put it behind Nginx, so that the home page just routes tests on port 80 directly. You know, here I tried using .3000 and all that. It did not work, right? Until after I started putting it behind the load balancer to use port 80 in the front end first, okay, as opposed to using 3000. Don't worry if all of that doesn't make sense. If it makes sense, you have an idea what I'm talking about, that's fine. But just note that putting it behind Nginx so that the default is 80 as all browsers recognize rather than putting :3000, then you can just put this slash right here, right? This way, load balancer, it can test also your home page. You know, it'll just test the home page of your application on port 80 and it will work. Okay. All right. So this just usually stands for the home page of your application, that first page that you get this first page that you get for any application, the homepage of your application. Sorry guys, I know we've gone a little over today, but sorry. I hope this is beneficial for you guys and you guys are learning a lot. Let's change that to 2. You know, I always like to change that to 2, right, for the test. Register targets. Yes, we're not using auto scaling here today. If you're creating a highly available environment with multiple servers, then of course you guys know that video about auto scaling and all that. But here we're just gonna put the machine directly to the load balancer. So select the machine and click add to registered. Okay, now we have it added to register. Make sure you click on add to register, and then you see it pop up here. Okay, now click on next review. Now click on create. Okay, click on create. All right, it says it's creating. I can just click on load balancer here. I can just click on load balancer here. Provisioning. Let's give it some time. Any questions so far? That was a lot. Okay, but most of it we've already done from the previous classes. The biggest part today was making sure that we can just put the URL in the browser without having to type :3000. Just using port 80 directly and with port 80 you don't need to add it in the browser. Your browser knows to go through port 80 to your application. Okay, so in a real life environment you probably want to do that using Nginx. Okay, and then also now we're having a load balancer, so we can spread the load across multiple instances. We don't have multiple instances right now, but you can do that later on as a personal project. You know, create another instance from the one you have now. Okay, if I were you, I'll just take an AMI and create a new instance from that, and then make sure I change the IP inside of the code. Okay, I know that's one thing here. Maybe it's because of the code that I'm using now. You would have to change the IP in every server. Okay, you have to change the IP in every server to the server that you're adding to the fleet. Okay, so that's one thing with this one, with this current setup that I'm using. But that's how that will work for now.
So you're not able to use the load balancer address instead of changing the IP for every server?
Inside the code itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that. No, it's not gonna work. I think it's where the developer wrote this code. But again, let's try with the other code and see, you know, how different that is. Okay, I think it's just specific to this code and how we have to make sure that we have the server, the IP of the server in there, because we're using EC2 instance for it. But never mind, just a simple thing. Create another server, change the IP, see if you can load balance between both. But now, just as a simple test, let's see if our load balancer would actually work with taking us to our application. Okay, so this is our load balancer DNS. Control C that. And again, please guys, try to do that assignment. Okay, try to do that project. Okay, and just, you know, go crazy with it, right? Stack Overflow, Google, YouTube, anything you need to do to get it done. At the end of the day, if you don't get it done, I'll try to do it and see if I can get it to work. Okay, and we'll host a class for fixing that next class, God willing. Okay, you're awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. Our code's always provided by, yeah, guys, great question, Yasmin. I want to let you guys know that some of the things we're doing in this hands-on, this is divided by different groups in real life for most cases. Okay, yes, some small bit enterprises will make you do everything, right? But you have that general skill set to be able to say, I know about databases, I know about, in reality, there's a team handling database, there's a team just focusing on writing the code, and there's a team doing infrastructure. We will take that code and we'll make sure that it's highly available. We'll monitor it, we'll monitor the health of the instances, we'll add some security to it and all that. Or usually there's a separate security team also checking for vulnerabilities and things like that. So it's kind of separate teams like that, which is a good thing, you know, in a big environment, because you want to separate the work as much as possible. So here, for this code, we have been creating the database. In reality, you already perhaps get a code from your developers that already has the database already in the code. So all you just need to worry about is upload the code and make sure that it's running. Okay, but great job, guys. You know, these are really cool things that you should, you know, that you should be proud of knowing at this point, right? That you created the database and you put the database endpoint inside of the code before you uploaded it to run on a server. Okay. All right. I tried creating the load balancer under the instances. The status of my instance is out of service. Why is out of service? I can't think of an answer right now. But let me see if this is it's active. Okay, now let me go test. Fingers crossed for me, guys. All right, let's go. Open a new private window. Now we're going behind our load balancer, okay? So imagine we had multiple instances now. Now we just have one instance behind the load balancer, which is fine. But if it's a highly available environment, right, we do auto scaling, and then with auto scaling, we'll provide the instances, multiple instances and all that. Or maybe we just manually create new instances. Maybe we want to add 3 instances to have 3 instances running at all times. Now we can have one load balancer URL that will spread the load across all of those 3 instances. If you've been following my previous sessions, what I just said right now will make sense, right? So now let's go ahead and copy this URL and assume that we have 2 instances behind this load balancer, but we know in reality now we have just one. Okay, let me copy this. Actually, you can also copy it from here, from the bottom here. Copied. Where's this? Let me close everything else. Let me open a new incognito window, new private window. Paste. Enter. Works, guys. Works. Now I can add multiple servers behind my load balancer, and my load balancer will route requests to my servers. Route requests to my different servers. Okay, so let's test if it works. Who can we use now? Who else is in here? Sylvia. 543. I actually don't know if Sylvia is in this call today, but she's a regular attendee and she passed her exam not too long ago. I think we talked about it last class. Submit. Form received. That means it works, guys. Let's go. Our database guys want to check. Okay, you put it behind the load balancer. Does it really work? Test this code. Select all from student in the database. Run. It works. And we're done. You guys can quickly unmute. I can only take at least one question. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to delete everything. If I were you, I might take an AMI of my running. We're using free tier for everything. So you have a free tier for every given month, right? So maybe you don't want to do this all again. You want to test later on. Oh, one thing, guys. One more thing. I hope you guys did not drop yet. One more thing I wanted to show you guys. For Pm2, if your server restarts, Pm2 will not automatically start your server. Okay, Pm2 will not have your servers running. If you need to tell Pm2 that if your server restarts for any reason, to automatically start your the apps that makes your application live. Okay, so let me go back to test app again. Let me do Pm2 list. Okay, we can see our app is running. But if I go into EC2 and I restart this server, okay, Pm2 will not know to bring this back online. This exact codes that make your app running. Pm2 will not know to bring them back online. So 2 things you need to do, and I put that in here. Don't worry. I already thought about it and I put it in here for you guys, okay? Yes, I'll update. Yes, this updated file right here, I'll put it in the Google Drive. Okay, so here, guys, one last thing, guys. Sorry about this. Pm2 Startup. Okay, do that. If you want Pm2 to bring this back up in case, again, for some reason, your server crashed, your server restarted. So Pm2 will make this back online, and then you don't have to do anything. You just go to your app and just test it again, and you see that it was working. So you need to do this, guys. Paste that command, Pm2 Startup. Okay, enter. It will generate a script for you, and then do Pm2 save. Okay, and then do Pm2 save. Do Pm2 save. So now it's saved that for you. Now we don't have time to test, but if I restart this server, or it crashes for some reason, then this script will automatically run on the server to bring these 2 apps back online. Okay, that's that. Any questions so far, guys? I'm gonna take at least one question. I know we're way over time today. Okay, just one question. Anybody has any question for me today before we go? 10 seconds. Don't forget, delete everything. And then great job, guys, today. For those of you that were able to follow, if you're not able to follow, that's fine. I'm gonna upload the video to YouTube. Take your time, get some tea, do it again. It's a very good learning process for you. Okay, what else? Make sure to terminate everything. If you want to keep this server, now we will take an image of what you have running. Okay, you might want to do that. Okay, you might want to take an image. Okay, take an image and then use that image to launch an instance that already has everything already. It'll already have Pm2 in there and all that. The only thing you might need to do is what? change the IP inside the code. Okay, don't forget that. If you leave your RDS, you didn't change your RDS, then your RDS will work fine. But your instance, if you're going to use another instance later on from the AMI that you create for this, then you need to go inside the code and put the new code of the instance that you just created. Okay. Now, who can tell me real quick? Someone mentioned something earlier. If I don't want to keep changing my IP inside of my, what should I do? There's something in AWS that I can use. Someone mentioned it earlier, but I kind of skipped over because I wanted to talk about it earlier. If you don't, no, not Route 53, the server itself, if you use another server, if you create another server, and you don't want to keep changing the IP of the server every time. Antoine, sorry, go ahead. What did you
say? The load balancer.
Load balancer is good, but you know, the IP of the server will change if you restart an EC2 instance. The IP of the server will change, right? Unless you had something in place before. And Antoine mentioned it, elastic IP. Okay, you can attach a permanent, exactly, ADB. You can attach a permanent elastic IP in your account. Create an elastic IP, and then once you create that instance, give you that elastic IP, and then every time, you can always have that elastic IP. It'll always use that elastic IP. You already have that elastic IP inside of your code. So if you, for example, you restarted the instance, or you shut down the instance and you created a new one, you would have, or no, let me say restart, not shut it down completely, right? The elastic IP restarts for some reason, then you'd have it, your EC2 instance restarts for some reason, the elastic IP would be mapped to it once it comes back up. Okay, if you completely shut it down and you terminated it completely, then you need to reattach the elastic IP. But in real life scenarios, perhaps something happened, the server, you don't just terminate an instance for no reason, right? Unless, especially in production. Okay, but if you're in development, then of course you have to go in and then change the IP over and over again. But in real life, in a production environment, whereby that's a server that you want to run for years, okay, you want to get an elastic IP to it, so that when the server restarts for some reason, the elastic IP is in place, okay, and you also already have the elastic IP embedded inside your code. For those of you that, I hope that makes some sense. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. But if you understand what I'm saying, great. But elastic IP would allow us to, in essence, have an instance that already have an IP that is static. Okay, it won't change because the server restarts. Okay, what are we saying here? The public IP here will change if I restart this server. Okay, if I stop and start it, usually this will change unless you've mapped it to an elastic IP. Okay, but with that said, that's that. Thank you guys. Make sure you restart, you shut down everything. If you want to use it again later on, just take an AMI. You guys know how to take an AMI. Okay, so do that. And then now it's easier for you to do SSL. I know someone asked about HTTPS. Now that you have it behind the load balancer, I already did a video before. Don't forget, right? I hope many of you did not forget. If you look in my previous videos, I did a video before on how to get a certificate for your load balancer. Okay, you can get a certificate. Now that you've gotten to this load balancer stage, you can create a certificate. Let me see if someone can actually do that for next class, okay, for the new project I gave you guys. And again, this is the project for you guys. This download this code. Is in Git. I think I already put it here as well. I put it in my drive as well. Yes, I put it in a Google Drive, so you don't have to go to the GitHub that this person had. He has it here somewhere in the Git repository. So the code, it explains how to do everything, type the code and all that, but we just needed the code. Okay, so again, giving credit to who credit is due. This is the code that I want you guys to test with. Okay, test if you can see if you can get this app up. Your final result should be something that looks like this. Your final result will be something that looks like this. Okay, the code, I've downloaded it for you guys and I put it in this folder right here. Node MySQL Soccer. Okay, Node MySQL Soccer. Okay, he spelled soccer SOSCKA, but that's fine. Just know that it means it's a app about entering soccer player names and all that. But yeah, that's that. But this is what I named it. Okay, so everything, your developers have given you the code. Okay, this is the code. Okay, your developers have given you the code. Now make it work. make sure your end customers can go to your app and visit and be able to see the application. They can go to their browsers and be able to see that application. Okay, that's the end goal. That's the end goal we want. They'll be able to go to their browser and see the app. And again, as an addition to that, I don't want to type port 2000. Okay, you can see here he's typing port 2000. I just want to grab the DNS of my instance. For those of you that get it done, get to the point of the load balancer. Okay, get to the point of the load balancer. And if you can, add a certificate manager to make it what? SSL. Okay, by the end of the day, we don't want to do semicolon 2000. As you can see, he's doing that in his code. You guys know better now, right? You just want to take the IP of our instance or get the DNS, put it in there, and and we'll have our app running. And also, if you want to go further, one is adding a certificate manager so that we're using HTTPS instead of HTTP. And also Route 53. If you want to do that now, you have a load balancer working, right? Then put your load balancer behind Route 53 and use your custom domain to visit the app and see if it works. Okay, that's a lot of work, but it's a lot of learning fun for you guys. Okay, again, I keep getting a lot of great news from many of you. You know, be sure to join my Telegram channel. Share your good news with me. You know, I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn and people thanking me that my template resume and all that, they're getting interviews, right? They're applying to 2 to 3 jobs a day. They're getting calls for interviews. All of this. And I know the last 3 sessions I haven't put in the project section of my resume yet. I'll do that probably sometime today or tomorrow. Okay, I'm not promising, but I'll try to do that so that the resume is updated with this previous labs that we did. Okay, I'll just summarize and maybe put it as one. Okay, inside under the project section. So look at my template resume. That should be your goal. For those of you looking to switch to IT, I've mentioned everything from day one that I started these sessions. Go over that AWS article. Try to follow everything in that article. Take your time. Don't rush. 5 to 6 months from now, you want to make your resume look like my sample resume, and you're able to list all of these things. And then you start applying for jobs. Okay, apply. And before you know it, you start getting calls because people love what they see on your resume. People love seeing these words: Node.js, Pm2, Linux, SQL, AWS, EC2, RDS. When they see those on your resume, those calls will come in. Okay, cloud jobs are a lot today. Cloud security jobs are a lot out there today. Okay, with that said, I know too much talking, guys. An hour 30 minutes, not bad. But sorry for keeping you guys here for too long. Terminate your instances and all that. And I'll see you guys next class with about at least 5 people telling me that they got it done. Right? They took this sample application here that also has a MySQL backend. They uploaded it. You're gonna so maybe do it in the morning before the class, okay, so that you don't keep things running for days. Okay, maybe do it in the morning. Wake up very early wherever you are. Wake up very early or do it 3 hours. You might need some time to troubleshoot. Okay, maybe do it a day before. Okay, and then I'll see you guys next class. See you guys next class, and I will what else? And you guys will show me. I will tell someone to give me their load balancer or give me their custom domain, and I'll test and see if I can see this app running on their screen. Okay, with that said, thank you. I think you should make your sessions longer than 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes has been the average, but I just want to, since I've already started using the name 1 hour, again, sorry because as I'm going for, but think about the learning. Okay, think about the learning. Okay, again, if you have to stop at 1 hour dot, it's okay. You can always watch the video later on. All right, so thank you guys. It's an hour 31 minutes. I actually have to stop the recording. Thank you. I'll see you guys next class. Thank you. Take care and have a great rest of your week. Bye. Don't forget to join my Telegram channel. Over 3,500 subscribers now on that channel. Okay, daily AWS and cybersecurity quizzes, at least daily, almost daily. But join. If I change the Zoom link for these sessions, that's where I'm gonna post the updates. So important updates about these sessions, I post in that Telegram channel. So that Telegram channel, my YouTube channel, all of that, you will see it in the description of this video. And I'll also post everything in the Telegram channel. If you look at the previous videos, the link to everything is in the videos. Okay, so the link to the Telegram channel, the link to my LinkedIn, if you want to connect with me, I encourage you to connect with me. I'm going to stop talking. I'll see you guys next class. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.